We'll get the show start here in a minute. Yep, he did. Okay. I accepted your, there you go. Taylor,
Hello.
check cams.
Okay.
Oh.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Ooh. Got more?
All right, Ziad, you're going to have to go mute. We're going to start here in just a couple seconds. Okay, Taylor, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Image show start. Warning. The following show features language and other disputable information that is brought to you by the persons who actually play Eve Echoes under the supervision of NetEase. Accordingly, Echoes of New Eden hosts must insist that no one should get offended by the things that Taylor says. New Eden. A galaxy made up of salt, broken relationships, and the $10 scam. A galaxy where you can get a happy ending, but only if you pay a little extra. A galaxy home to a podcast greater than the Catskill Academy, Trekcast, and Echoes from the Front combined. Live on Discord, it's the Echoes of New Eden podcast. We bring you the finest in little-known facts from around the galaxy since 2020. If it's almost news, we'll cover it. That's right, everybody. Welcome to another week of Eve Echoes news and related content. I'm your host tonight, Rambo. Glad to be back from missing last week's show. And this week I'm well, damn it, I still can't talk. I'm accompanied by Taylor Rick.
You're rusty.
Yeah, I'm rusty just a little bit there. I have Taylor Rick with us, as well as Lotarra and Ziad. What's going on, guys?
How's it going? See, it's actually awake. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You made it, man.
It.
New setup. Who dis?
Actually, we need to start
Right?
taking bets over under right now on whether or not we hear him snoring before the show's over.
I have to server mute him if he starts snoring.
Oh, no. You don't have to worry about that. I quit my job for this. Don't worry. All right. I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
That's dedication.
Who needs money
boys.
anyway?
Yeah, right. Who needs
Right.
money?
He's
Yeah.
becoming an official CC.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah, we need
Yeah,
a
so
job.
welcome, guys.
Yeah, look.
Right? Yeah, so we did away. I'm finally glad October is over. Man, October, we had 5 shows in the month of October. That's insane. I went way over my podcast quota and got overcharged for that, but I don't care about that. We had 5 shows, like something like 12 plus hours of Eve Echoes content just in that alone. So that's pretty crazy. I was finally able to retire my October intro because I was sick of listening to that after the second time.
Yep.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to get rid of it and start some new projects. So I do want to mention, now that we're coming into the holiday season, for anybody that has any upcoming like Christmas songs, now is the time to start either writing or recording or coming up with ideas as to if people want to do Christmas songs. Because if you remembered last year, we did, I had 2 that I had worked with some community members and got those out. So I think I'll probably touch those up a little bit some more this year. But I'm open for projects right now. I know I've had a couple people come to me for commercial requests. I did a lot of audio work today. I made several commercials. I was doing some audio stuff for the race that we're gonna be that's coming up. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but yeah, now's the time. Now's the time to get that stuff started. So Yeah, I'm just glad to be back for this week. Granted, I missed last week. I listened to the show since I happened to just be driving home at that time when you had started it. But otherwise, no complaints from the B team. I know so Taylor and OC were joking about that for being the B team when I'm gone. It's not necessarily true, but all is well with that. I enjoy what these guys do, not only for the show but also behind the scenes and the stuff that they do there, and it's good to have people to rely on, to be able to do that type of stuff. So it's really nice to just kind of sit back and actually listen to the show for once. I just so happened to be driving, and my wife was chiming in, and all this stuff. It was kind of fun, but she fell asleep too. She doesn't want to admit it, but she fell asleep during the podcast.
Probably during the portion where I was reading the patch notes.
Possibly. Yeah. Holy smokes. No, it wasn't until later in the show. But just naturally, she falls asleep in car rides. It's just like, since she was a kid, it always happens. So, all right. And shall we get into the latest and greatest from New Eden? I know we have game news and announcements to go over. Patch notes. Holy crap, we got some bombshells in the patch notes. We got a voicemail. We'll do consider your suggestion. We got some commercials, new commercials. Then after that, we'll be talking about the upcoming game events that Taylor, Rick, and I will be in part of, I guess you could say. I know big news that dropped yesterday, the Reddit post that OG announced their dissolution. So we'll talk about that in that Reddit post. Lotarra wants to talk about that super kill that they got earlier this last week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and
it was nuts. That's all I'm going to say on that right now.
Yeah.
It was crazy as hell. It was crazy. It was crazy as hell. Now in my notes, I don't know who added this to the notes, but Damon's Corner.
Yeah.
What's Damon's Corner?
Well, I put that in there. Damon always has something that he brings in here that either he hasn't put into a video yet, or he was supposed to put into a video 6 months ago, then said, screw it, it's old, but I want to talk about it while I'm on the pod. So that's what that's for.
Okay.
So whatever he's got, because he's going to
later.
be late. Yeah, exactly. He's going to be late because he doesn't know what daylight savings time isn't, as in you don't have it and he does, and so he got all screwed up with his time. So
right.
At any rate, whenever he joins us later on, we'll let him have his own little corner there with whatever he wants to update us on.
Yeah, we'll ask him as to what happens to be on his mind.
Yep.
That he hadn't got to cover in his latest videos. And then that reminded me too, I didn't even think about it being daylight savings time, because I don't do anything with that. And I thought you were in California still, so I was like, what time are you on? You're an hour behind me, or whatever. Turned out to not be the case. But
well, funny thing is, all you had to do was look at that Hammer Time stamped post thing that I did, and it would have shown up at the correct time for you, and you would have been like, yeah, that's correct. But you didn't. You just ignored that. And had to go back and forth with me for like another 2 minutes and I was just like, okay. And I'm done. Okay.
You're an hour behind me right now.
I am now an hour behind you instead of 2. That's correct. Okay. That's how it always is in the wintertime. I was 99.9% sure that was correct. I was just double checking with you. That was it.
Oh, you lucky one.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to just spend an hour ragging on daylight savings right now?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so bad.
Raise your hand if you celebrate daylight savings.
It's not a celebration.
So, it's no way.
It was the bad one too, because we lost an hour.
Right.
Yeah, it's people lose an hour of sleep, lose an hour of daylight.
Well, we gained an hour because we fell back. It's the springtime that I hate because we lose an hour because we go forward. Yeah. Just for those in Rio Linda who still don't understand.
Well, it's only been about 14 years since I lived in Minnesota last, where I had to adjust my clock. So I'm no longer on Central Time.
My first reference of the day, Rio Linda. Here's my next one. Got the show notes here. Be able to read with one hand tied behind my back.
Okay.
Wait. Can you show that to the camera real quick? Because I heard a lot of papers flapping in the air.
That was a big
The show
piece of
note-
paper.
Show notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this one. It's just that's it right there. I'm
Yeah,
ready
he
to go.
pulled it off the printer in the back.
It's actually
So
a piece
shall
of paper
we?
for work, but whatever. I don't need it.
I know there's a CTA going on like right now, so
Yeah,
I'm
of
not really
course.
sure what's all going on. But there's people attending that right now. Guessing it's has something to do with the void timers, but I'm not there to actually know for sure. But
So you're saying if I scuttle my way over towards In's mother, I might find some content?
Yes, you could.
Okay, on
Yes,
my
you
way.
will. Just be careful around
you
on
will.
certain parts.
Yep.
All right. So
Well, there's certain
let's
parts
see,
you have to be
last week
careful
was
around, and there's
September.
certain parts where like there's nobody there, and even if there is
Oh,
one
yeah.
person, as soon as you enter local, they log off. Like there's like the whole area like that. I don't know what the deal is. You literally can't find anybody.
I mean, we all know what's up with that, but we
Probably-
don't talk about it.
Probably because it used to be OG space. But
Used.
yep.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We got that coming up later. So, I hope everybody had a fantastic Halloween. Those who celebrated it. I know I wanted to comment on the last episode that I did where I spent literally 2 hours in that costume and I was basically dead at the end of it. But yeah, that was all. That was all fun. We took our daughter trick or treating for the first time, like walking
Oh,
house to
nice.
house, and she had a
Nice.
blast.
I'm sure
She had a
did.
blast for being 3 years old. She had a freaking blast. She
I
was
bet.
handing out candy. She was handing out handfuls of candy to other kids.
That's
Like,
pretty sweet.
geez, generous are you? But yeah, she would say trick or treat, have fun, and then they'd be on their way. So, all right. Let's get into the game announcements. And I see that Cartley had posted the developer Q&A, so we could probably break right into that
We
as
can.
far as the announcements goes. Yeah, you got that pulled up?
I do. So let's see. I wonder if this is gonna show up all of it now. Our heads are over some of it, but that's okay. Oh well. Can you
Yeah,
please add?
It's literally below me.
Yeah. Can you please add more things to the way an alliance works? I think it would be useful for alliances to have their own wallet, alliance offices, and an alliance market for everyone in the alliance to use. This would be important because right now, all the corporations have to share the burdens between them all, and it would be easier for the alliance to have a set place for military buyback operations, yada, yada, yada. Water Knight comes back. Oh, great! We have Water Knight this week. Water Knight comes back and says, "Can we do further We can do further optimizations to the Corp feature, but currently we do not have plans to adjust the alliance. We will take your feedback into consideration for future updates. Thank you a lot." Yeah.
Right in the
so
press.
yeah, I mean they've always focused on corps, not alliances. They want stronger corps, which kind of flies in the face of what they did with the corp tech tree and the size of corporations, which, you know, is asinine. It should be double what it is, not what it is. You should be able to put 500 people into a corp, not 270 after you spend 70 billion ISK.
I think it's more than that now.
Yeah, exactly. It's more than that now because you can do 70 plus 50, and by the time you put those two together, it is probably like 180 billion. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
To get there, it's
Stupid
absolutely
amount.
insane. It's insane. So,
Um,
yeah. Anyway,
You swipe, you can have it right now.
this is not really, because it's gated week to week. You have to have enough corp points for it. So you could technically
Yeah.
swipe, yes, but you're only going to do it one freaking week at a time. Your corp points are locked. So,
Yep.
um,
I mean, you have to wait
So
a
does
year
it-
to get to T10, so why not? It's not like we have anything to do with this game. It's like time is the only thing that's worthless around here.
I don't know. I kind of wish I mean, granted, the corp tech tree for the corp member thing, that whole thing is still broken, by the way, in case people didn't know.
Yep.
CEO has to continuously be logged in order for people to even apply to that. But I don't know. I suppose that's cool and all, but I still would have kind of rathered had the skill, like the individual skill to train into in order to be able to up that further, kind of how it is previously. But for whatever reason, they decided to go that way.
I'm fine with it being in the corp tech tree. I just think the numbers are too low. And the good thing about all of this is at least it's now a feature that's in the game, bugged or not. I'm sure they'll fix that at some point too. And how long? I don't know, year or two, whatever. It'll get
in
fixed.
the future. Yeah.
In the future, yeah, soon, coming soon. But at least it's there, and so therefore there is the ability to tweak it without saying, well, it's something we have to add brand new. At least it's already there and it can be adjusted. It's a lot easier to adjust something that's already in the game than it is to try to create something new from scratch, right? So that part I'm happy about. I do wish that we had, I really like the corporation market setup. I like that a lot. I use the shit out of it in my corp. And in fact, I've got like 4 or 5 guys who manage it with our buybacks, with missions, with everything. PI gathering, the whole 9 yards. CTA ships, all of it. So it's a very robust system. It works really, really well. I just wish that could be branched out in some way to where, I mean, think about that for a minute. If you had one place you could go, somebody could make a corp that does this. This could be the only thing the corporation does. People just come and go from the corp. If there wasn't this 24-hour lag thing, this would be solved. You could just make a corporation in-game that all it did was had an in-game corporation market that people came to sell to that corp. They would buy it, turn around and put it up on, buy it at 80%, turn around and put it up on their market at 100%, whatever, 85%. It'd be its own JITA market in-game without any taxes, without any of the bullshit.
That's actually a very nice thing to have.
It would be fantastic. It'd be the same thing that the black market is doing in Discord, but it'd be in-game. It'd be the same thing all your buybacks are doing outside of the game on Discord, but it'd be in-game. I've wanted to do that for a long time.
JITA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have, like, even every alliance, you can have a small market within the alliance, so you can take away the pressure from having everything to go to JIRA directly to sell or to have anything.
Right, and the armory that we have, or that we have in Care Bears with Guns. Care Bears with Guns, you don't see it in game anymore, but we still, in terms of like as an alliance, but it's still a thing. And we still have our armory, and we still do all of that through sheets, through Discord, bots. It's all automated with our own Carebuck system, but all of that could be done literally in-game the exact same way, because here's a funny little secret about those markets, right? So points, for instance, instead of ISK, if I join a corporation and they give me 1 million points, whatever, and then I leave that corporation, those 1 million points still stay there. I come back to that corporation 3 months later, I still have my 1 million points from being in that corporation. So it's a separate in-game style currency that you could hold.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's just, I like the way that system works. I'd love to see that at the alliance level some way. I don't know how you would integrate that part into the game. I think that'd be a whole nother layer to be able to see the alliance market when you go to your corporation page or something. Go to alliance. I don't know. I think it'd be cool though.
It will definitely be worth it. It will add another layer to the market instead of just having this bland virgin that we have right now.
Yeah, the markets themselves, I could go on about that for an hour. It's bad.
Based on some of the answers that we've gotten from Water Knight, I think we're pretty much convinced that he's a bot. But I mean,
who isn't?
Corp Wallet, or not Corp Wallet, but Alliance Wallet would be cool. As far as corporation like assets and hangars and stuff, the Executor Corp usually will have it all set up, so you don't really have to worry about that. They have their own. Could they optimize it though? And I just don't know because I'm not an Exec Corp, but the I suppose they can add things to the alliance level.
Just because you're an executor
Um,
corporation, that all that means is that you just hold the perms and everything for the alliance itself. It doesn't mean you get any additional thing in the market or any. So it's nothing.
Right.
It's almost you can't even tell actually until you go drill down and really look at it.
Well, I think a lot of alliances use their holding corp as their alliance wallet almost, don't they? That's how I've known it done in the past.
Or an alt corp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just depends on, I think, the security level of it too, of that holding corp. But
Yeah.
as far as like alliance permissions goes and stuff too, like if they had custom game channel chat like alliance perms, that'd be awesome. If they had something different with how gates and outposts and all the docking crap works, that could probably be optimized. But who knows with NetEase as to how much they'll prioritize that stuff.
I mean, that's another thing that would change the game entirely too. Is if if you could assign structures to be corporation structures or alliance structures, as in this
Beneficial to them.
Yeah, exactly. As in this assembly workshop is an alliance assembly workshop, right? So it not only applies to the corp, it applies to the alliance. You know, even if you had to pay a small fee or tax for that, I mean, that'd be huge. The number of structures you'd need, the number of areas you'd need builders, this, that, or the other would really. You could consolidate things more in one spot, which would be nice.
I suppose some of them already do it, like the ratting anomalies, like the upgrades and the number of anomalies. If you have alliance members ratting in your system, then they benefit from the additional anomalies and stuff, though they don't benefit from the tax income or bounty, whatever else. But the same thing goes for mining too. If they upgraded the mining belts and they say they have alliance people mining in that system, or your alt corp members are lining, you know, obviously they're benefiting from that type of stuff. So
drink.
Yeah.
Couldn't say benefiting, right?
Nope. Can't talk. I seriously just can't talk. I don't even know why I do this thing. I just can't talk.
You're a podcaster and you can't talk. I love it. It's perfect.
You're perfect for the job. You're hired.
Mm-hmm. As I say, I have a face for radio. All right, moving along.
Next question.
Yep, next one. We're on the same page there. We got long-range combat often these days, and turrets can hit immediately, even if its ranges are 500 to 600 kilometers, but missiles, drones have flight speeds, so they have to wait up until 30, 40 seconds. I have an idea for this. 1, make turret ammo's flight speed. 2, make missile torpedoes flight velocity much faster and decrease flight time, and add missile flight velocity bonuses for missile guidance computer so it can have its range equal than previous. I really hope this suggestion become true. Thanks for reading long words. Good Lord. Okay. Water Knight comes back and says, we appreciate your feedback and understand your concerns. Rest assured, we will discuss internally to see if we can make these changes and introduce new modules, options for players. That's it. It's like this bot reading it back to you. Thanks, Water Knight.
Rest assured. So, does that mean lasers will travel at the speed of light?
Lasers should be almost instant. I mean, that's what they are.
You would think, right? Yeah. And so they classify turrets as general. As far as I know, lasers are in the turrets category.
Yes.
Am I right on that?
Everything is in the turrets category except for missiles.
Everything, yeah. Everything.
Except for missiles, yeah. So you got rails and cannons and lasers that fall under the turrets category.
And decomposers. Don't forget decomposers.
Sure.
No matter how much we all
did
try.
forget about them.
If you check the gunnery skills, it affects the fighters on the supers and stuff, like the destroyers and frigates for the as fighters. It affects them too. Everything is basically turrets. It's just you have single missile thing. That's not really something to want to be pushed more for DPS or stuff. I mean, it's good where it's at right now. I mean, Warhead Charge makes your missiles incredibly wrong that it can turn off your AI automatically.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'd really mess with missile speed. I'm not sure I really would. And I say that knowing full well that there are times when I'm shooting stuff and I'm like, good freaking Lord, this thing will be dead before the first missile lands, right? I mean,
Right.
you know, and it's like slow as molasses. And I got to be honest, I really don't like missiles, although every single one of my tunes is almost maxed in missiles.
I mean, I almost feel that realistically they shouldn't need to put any more thought into damage application or even DPS numbers. At the minute, it completely outstrips anything you can actually tank.
Yep.
So I think that there needs to be some balance there in terms of DPS to actual ability to tank.
Well, the tanking thing, I think people forget about this latest balance patch here a month and a half ago, whenever that was. And the changes they made for tanking and these new, they're not plates, but they're both shields and armor have new versions of energized. They're like a shield energizer and a armor energizer. I forget what they're called exactly, but they are in the game. You can get them. They do drop. They're very, very rare. And I don't think they totally solve the tanking problem, but they do add a different layer to it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Which ones
Yeah. So the issue I find with the armor ones is you lose 2 of your resistances for fitting them.
Yeah.
So, and that's that. Well, not lose entirely, but I think it's like a 30% reduction.
Right.
Meaning that instead of running, like, say, 2 reps and one of those plates, you'd probably just want triple rep if you're going full all in tank, which basically, like, it's exactly the same as it was before. What those plates really do is they allow you to have a bit more buffer whilst not actually losing out any of your agility.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with the extenders. The way I read them is predominantly what they do is it increase your regen and don't give you a sig penalty.
Right, like an extender does, but they do shift over your resistances, right? And so maybe you lose 30% on one resist, but you're gaining it on another. I'm pretty sure I read that right. No.
It's I believe it's you to get the extra hit points. You're effectively sacrificing resist.
So it's just
and tanking your resistance is a kind of king.
That's not going to do anything for you then. No, damn it! I thought I read that as a. I kept looking at it and thinking, okay, so maybe I'm losing a little bit here, but I'm able to shift my resistances into one thing. And I think that's what they're probably going to have to do moving forward for tanking, making tanking better. Getting you to the ability to where you can shift resistances over to EM. So if you know you're going to be fighting a laser boat, or you can shift your resistances over to...
well, no, you can already do that with a yellow heart shield partner.
Yeah, but those kind of... That's a...
Suck. That's the word you're looking
for.
Those
don't work. Those don't work quite the way that you want them to. What I mean by is
suck.
I'd like to be able to take 30% off of my EM resistance if I'm running an armor, whatever. Take 30% off of that if it's got 0, whatever, and then put it onto something else. I want to be able to specifically shift all my tank to one damage type, whether it's EM or really EM or thermal. Those are the 2 I'd care about the most. Could care less about the others. In some cases.
The way you do that going into a fight is basically you have to rig for it, right?
Yeah.
If you want high resistance to EM and thermal on your shield ship, like, you're going to have to put an anti-EM, anti-thermal screen, and it's not going to be doable on the fly because that becomes a little bit too broken, in my opinion.
I don't know. I'd like to maybe have an implant that you can do on the fly, right? Maybe your implant allows you to adjust your resistances a little bit on the fly, depending upon what you're fighting. Somewhat, right? You have to have that implant on. You have to have it set already. Then you have to toggle through whatever your settings are.
Yeah,
Changing within a certain implant, I think it's good, but changing between implants would not be a good
Yeah,
idea.
no. I don't want to change that part. I just mean some way to be able to tank better, because you're right. The DPS outlay of everything is exceedingly high.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine if you're just rocking cannons, or flying a mechanic can switch from barrage repression to sniping technology, just switching in and
oh
out
yeah,
between those. That would be
no,
just
Yeah, no.
but like I miss being able to fly a tanked out the wazoo Hyperion pretty much anywhere, and the only thing I have to really worry about is 10 battleships or a single dread.
Yeah.
Whereas now I can come across a single Mega Striker or any of the Navy issues and just get waxed.
oh, that's an understatement.
Well, as it
It's
should be with a Navy issue, right? I mean, looking at the scale of those battleships, I would hope a
Oh,
Navy issue should be able to take a Hyperion out. If
it
I've taken
not
Navy.
necessarily.
I've done almost two 1v1s now where I've caught Navy issues. One in a Raven, and I beat him uh, ridiculously easily with a single Mega Striker. And then a second one, APOC Navy. It turned into a DPS race between me and him. I beat him, Mega Striker. Like,
yeah.
and they were both tank fit, and I was glass cannon.
Not sure how. Not sure how tanky a APOC Navy issue can really get. Whereas a Raven Navy issue, if you tank the shit out of that, you're looking at 750.
Yeah,
and
I have.
higher.
I have both of them on my YouTube channel in videos. So
Nice.
there's evidence.
Yeah. Let's
I
go
think
back and
we
watch those.
strayed from the
We did.
Q&A quite a bit there.
We did. Yeah, get back to
But,
the Q&A. Next
having
one.
having an implant to adjust resistances would be quite unique.
It would,
be
wouldn't it?
interesting if they
It would.
do.
Okay.
Next question.
Next one, we got two more to go through. Greetings, developers. When is it planned to add the ability to set up fort posts for capsuleers in low sec and high sec? And is this planned at all? Installing such stations in these systems would significantly increase online players and make this part of New Eden more attractive to new players. Thank you. Sir, what are you smoking, and can you pass it over? You can put pauses in low sec, buddy, and you're never going to put them in high sec. What the hell kind of question was this? Does this guy play? I don't
Forts.
understand.
Set up fort posts.
He's talking
So-
about if he means citadels, then get out of here. If he means outposts, then you can put them in low sec. Problem solved. Hey, you asked for
Yep.
outposts in low sec. The developers gave it to you. Yay! Good Lord.
Bosses in high sec would be invulnerable because we can't even lock a capsule here in
Yeah.
high sec.
They would also be useless because the PI there is totally useless. So go ahead and waste the ISK. I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah.
Put an outpost there. Who gives it? Whatever. Who cares? It's total waste. You can go right over to the station and make stuff. The exact same, benefit as your pause. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, Water Knight comes back and says players can already do it in some low sec systems. So this is not a bot. We have also considered similar options for high sec, but there are no immediate plans to open this up feature for now. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know why you'd put them in high sec, Water Knight. That's stupid. Next question, with completely different fonts being used. This is amazing. Introduce a non-player character market buyer system where players can sell their in-game items for a guaranteed profit based on a fixed percentage, creating an accessible option for all players. To maintain balance, limit the number of sales per week, allowing players to choose between commendations and NPC market sales. This encourages thoughtful decision-making, diversity in-game market dynamics by designating specific regions for this new market. This approach fosters regional trade hubs and ITCs, enhancing economic diversity, implementing a peer-to-peer transportation contract system to enable secure goods transport between regions and providing new opportunities for traders and haulers, enriching the in-game community. Like 90% of what he just listed there happens right now, and nobody fucking uses it.
Yeah, rip.
Okay, so Waterknight comes back and
TLDR.
says, yeah, let's see what Waterknight says before I rip this apart. Hi there. We've been thinking about the events related to the market and our economic system. Thank you for reaching out to us with your idea. We will definitely consider your suggestion and see if we can incorporate it into our game. That's like a non-answer, just in case this guy doesn't realize that. But anyway, introduce a non-player character market buyer system where players can sell their in-game items for guaranteed profit. Okay, not happening. Guarantee my profit. Go run AI, dude.
It's time to consider
You're
your
done.
suggestion.
You're moving on.
No.
Yeah.
They said consider your suggestions, so I figured
There
I'd
it
just
is.
play
Yeah.
the sound clip.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Guaranteed profit. I mean, come on. Come on.
I'm pretty sure this came up on the CSM server.
Do you think
This
that there's
question.
a problem with inflation in the game right now where everything's value is going up? Do you
Yes.
think there's a problem with that
Yes,
right now? Yes.
like 7 million
Oh,
a piece.
Everything is
I
going up.
wonder what's affecting that.
Gee, I wonder why. You think that maybe if we put in a way where you could make a guaranteed profit on items to an NPC market, that would actually cause deflation or inflation? Just think about that for a minute.
That'd be much less on the player-to-player market. And realistically, if you're selling loot that you got from ratting, you're already pure profit because you made bounty ticks.
Yep. Yep.
But why would I sell you a ship for 10% off Jita if I could just sell it to Jita and make 100% of whatever I'm asking?
You got to move it.
Okay, I build it in Jita. There you go. Then I don't have to move it.
Right. Then you can. Nothing saying you can't. There's anyway. This was silly. The whole thing with the balance part here, where he says everything else he says is actually how the game is laid out, with one exception. There's one thing smart in here that he says that should have been done from day one. Can you guys guess what it is? I'm trying to figure out where it is. Let's see. Balance. Can you guys guess what I'm going to say?
Implement a peer-to-peer transportation contract system to enable secure good transport between regions.
No, that's already a thing. Nobody uses it because it's stupid, but
Nobody uses it.
right. No. It's a part where he says about regional trade hubs. So every ITC, right, is in a region. That's specifically a region. So when you go and look at the market, you should only be able to see things that are on sale, that are up there on the market, that are in that ITC's region. So if I want to see what's on the Jita market, I have to be in that region. If I want to see what's on another ITC, Serpentis Prime, right, I have to be in that region, in Fountain. If I want to see, then you can buy things in one of those ITCs and move it to another and sell it, because, and this gets back to loot tables. Really, it really does. It gets all the way back down to loot tables. Right now everything is bought and sold in Jita. Period. Everything is, unless it's done inter-contract between you and your buddy, somewhere in your area in nullsec, or it's an alliance thing somewhere in your area in nullsec. Everything else is done in Jita, one ITC. It's not done in wherever the hell else, unless some weirdo decides to go and post something and you accidentally click it and buy it from Tash Merkin because, oh shit,
Right.
I didn't.
Amar,
I
what
thought
the
that
hell?
was,
I didn't want to go out
I didn't
there.
want to go to Amar. What the hell? But anyway, if those were broken up, though, now you would have a reason to move things around those markets. Now the delivery system that's in the game would actually work, because they copied and pasted that code from EO and put it in the game, but forgot that and it would be fine. It would work great. People would actually use it if they didn't forget that one specific feature, which is the markets are all split up by ITC regions. They're not in this game. They really should be. That should have been fixed a long time ago. That's the one part of his suggestion I would put forward. Other than that, none of that makes sense. So that's it for Q&A.
That's it for Q&A. So next on the announcements, they had released this Magic Bot. Our brand new DC community tool, Magic Bot, is now online. More events and rewards will be unlocked in the future. Plenty of rewards are waiting for you to claim. Just click the link below for more information.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they implemented this bot, and what it does is it links the Discord to the game. And I've been seeing some mixed reactions to this. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think there's issues with privacy. Some people are hesitant to join it. You get a number of gifts. I know I shared the screenshot, I don't know, several times as to what you get when you did that. I did it right away, but you get like 20k SP, you get some last points, you get some. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't exactly remember everything, but a lot of people were hesitant on doing this. You couldn't get it to work. So I know there was, like, it pulled up the webpage to, I remember I did something. It pulled up the webpage and it didn't work at first. The one where it gives you the link, like the security code that you have to input to link the two, like it crashed or it didn't want to load for whatever reason. So then I tried it again, and the second time it went through.
Gotcha.
So you may have to try something along those lines. But this seems to be an in-house NetEase bot that they created specifically for doing this. So who is it? Keela that did the... I need to go back to the event that had it for linking. What was that? What was that event? Was that an event? Magic Bot Binding. So Keela had posted this. Bind your Eve Echoes account with your Discord account. Now for data synchronization, follow the steps. There's guides on their Discord to be able to do that, and you can click it to bind it. And so I didn't think we had something like this in the making. I didn't know that they would do something like this, but I could see as to why they would. And I think there was a previous that killed the what was it? Kill That Capital event thing that Keela did way back, a couple weeks ago. Remember, you had to damage
the Centrum.
The Centrum.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did. People get rewards for that? I may have forgot if I did, but
no idea. I didn't have Gamma clone on the server, so I mean.
Oh yeah, that's that whole dumb roll thing. You would click on the bot. In this case, the Magic Bot, it would be click to bind. I could see that whole Centrum fight being a test for what this bot was trying to do. So if you participate in the Centrum fight, of course, your discount is already linked to your game account. So yeah, it knows that you participated, and it automatically sends you in-game rewards. Okay, so cool, you participated in that.
But this bot, like this whole gamma clone thing, is as useful as the in-game medals. It's just a fancy thing to look at. That's it.
Yeah. And I may not have been the only one to probably mute whatever channel that they posted that. I think is under Discord announcements. But in order to have an Omega, granted, you have to go through Alpha, Beta, whatever the hell else, and then get Omega. You have to, what is it, 250 messages a week within 7 days, I think.
20 a day, I think, is what they brought it all the way down to. Is that it's like you have to type in something, hit enter, type, and do that like 20 times in a day.
Listen, we can do that, but is it really worth it? Like, is that something I'm willing to devote my few precious seconds to do every day?
No.
I don't know. There's some things on the official Eve Echoes Discord that you don't really want to talk about or whatever else. I mean, heck, on the Alliance Discord, on my own Alliance, I probably still don't even do 250 a day. Maybe in my Corp Discord, not a day, but in a week. Maybe in my corp Discord I do that.
Oh
Other
no,
Discords I probably do that.
yeah,
But on the official EE one, no.
yeah.
Listen, if you
They
speak
want to.
wrong in the general chat, you'll just get smacked around by this
Well,
fucking
that is fun to smack people
coming
around in the
through.
general chat until the mods tell you to like be nice, and it's like I guess I can only type in specific words in the general chat. You know, flowers, enter. Dirt,
Yeah,
enter.
Well,
Sun is out, enter.
let
I mean,
let's not bring up the censorship that happens in there. But
oh,
I
now why does
blatantly
this
called
happen
out
again?
the whole. I blatantly called out this Omega clone thing, just another form of mod abuse,
yep.
basically. So, gamma clone. That's what it is, gamma, not
Gamma
Omega.
clone, yeah, it's called gamma
But
clone.
Don't worry, they're both useless, so no need to differentiate.
No.
Remember when
yeah, so
they muted some of the guys from Provi? They muted them for like 2 days, I think, for using this big like a bigger text. It was a lot of fun to see us being banned for 2 days for this.
Mm.
yeah, the whole big text thing
Oh yeah.
where you could do the
Yep, that
pound
one.
symbol. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
They kept posting it until
banned.
the mods got tired.
Yeah, it's a full-time job over there. So
I
it
mean,
is what it is.
I mean, they
if
get
it pays,
paid.
sure. If it pays,
But
sure.
back to the whole magic bot thing, is I could see why they're wanting to do that, so they can do more events. Maybe that don't require the gamma clone, but maybe some other events that you can participate in instead of having to have them collect your game info. Your game info is already connected to your Discord account. So you just click on participate and then boom, you get the rewards or whatever. So I could see it being a quality of life change on their end.
I could too, but I think there's more to it than that. I think what they're trying to do, and they can kind of see it and hear it in even what some of the moderators are saying, they are trying to drive up the amount of engaged people on their Discord. I'll just put it that way. They're trying to drive up the interactions.
Participation.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like the bots in game trying to sugarcoat the fact that there is no one talking in the general server unless they are trolling the mods.
I don't know. Last time I was on Help Chat, there's plenty of people talking over there, but that didn't make any difference. It doesn't do any good.
So
Same old story,
what
I
I did see with this magic bot was there was a lot of new people on that had joined the official Eve Echoes Discord that I guess may not have been on there or had just decided to join, and they always just say hi or whatever, and you do see that. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see what's going on with this bot. I know there's a lot of people that are hesitant on doing that for privacy concerns. I don't really have anything linked to my Discord anyway that I would be of concern about. NetEase already knows my location just by me logging into the game, so rip there. I mean,
what?
if they're worried about the magic bot, they should be more worried about the game permissions because the game requires more permissions than this dang bot does. So
yeah, the camera permissions alone. I've no guys that just quit because of the camera permissions alone.
Camera permission?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need camera permission for? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So the game feature to be able to screenshot and save photos to your phone, the game needs camera permissions to
Bullshit.
access camera.
Yeah.
Which on iPhone, I'm pretty sure it's the same on Android, is camera permission includes use of the camera and access to the photo reel or wherever those photos get stored
Yep.
on the device. So for iPhone, it's basically photos and camera.
Really is true for just about every major mobile game you play. It's just not always obvious.
Yeah.
And some mobile games
So-
don't really need screenshots anyway, other than just the one you do manually yourself.
And I'm sure there's going to be more features added with MagicBot, but we don't know because the devs don't tell the content creators anything about things that they do. But
But
it
they
is what it
apparently
is.
tell the moderators.
They tell the mods, but they don't tell content creators.
I don't think they actually tell the
So-
mods, Rambo. I really don't. I think the mods just have their heads up their ass in some cases. I mean, the way they were talking this week was just so out of the blue. I was just like, what the? It was a complete power trip. It was a complete, oh, no. We know. You're not allowed to know. That's in a separate channel. We know. Or we're going to mention the fact that we know
yeah.
and that you don't
Oh, yeah, that's right.
here in the CC channel just because we felt like we could. Ha ha.
It was talked about. This was talked about doing this and doing that. Okay, where was that chatter? Oh, it's in channels that you don't have access to.
Why are you
What?
talking about it here then, dumbass?
Then, like,
It's
if
just
it
to
has
rub it
something
in
to do
your
with the
face.
game, then how come we don't have access to be able to view that information?
Oh, but it doesn't have to do with the game, Rambo. See, that's where you lost the whole conversation. You don't seem to understand. Magic Bot, Discord bot has nothing to do with the game. That's what they told you.
But I had to link my account to it anyway.
Right.
My game
But did I
account,
get
or-
rewards from it? That does have to do with the game. But he kept saying that. He kept saying that it did have something to do. Like, no, dude, stop.
You mean we get information to communicate to the greater people of New Eden, but yet we can't get information to tell those people?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's top secret information. They can't share it with you.
Let's just say I got into it this last week.
It was pretty good. It was pretty rich. I liked it.
Gosh.
If I could screenshot that
And-
and show everybody without them wanting to slap me around, I would. It was.
Oh yeah,
it was
but
gold.
that's NDA.
Exactly.
No, you can't share anything because everything's NDA now.
Right,
Oh,
right. Now all of a
Careful, they will
sudden,
Where it
smite
didn't-
you on another
Where
round.
where NDA used to be just game info, now it's anything that's out of the content creator chat is considered NDA. Even if Taylor Rick made a joke and I screenshot it and shared it on my public podcast here, that's breaking NDA, of course, even though he knows about it and can see it.
and
But-
say it's okay.
Are you
And say it's okay.
are you breaking your NDA even talking about the
Probably.
channel?
Probably.
Rip.
It's like the channel.
channel?
What channel?
Channels
Yeah,
don't
I
exist.
don't know. Yeah, exactly. Channels don't exist. What do you mean, Lotarra? I don't know what you mean.
I know
Sounds
about the
crazy.
700 channels that don't exist on the EE Discord that are all locked and moderators use.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can scrape. You can use a bot to scrape that info. Yeah.
This is just fun. Like to think about you guys have the same information as I do. Someone who doesn't even play the game. That's so funny. Like I'm enjoying this a lot. You actually take the effort to make content for them. Advertise the game instead of their shitty ads about fucking Noctis shooting missiles. You get
Yeah,
jack shit.
well, it's obvious the mods create content, so that therefore,
definitely.
Yeah.
they get the info first, and then it comes down to the content creators.
I mean,
Listen,
what-
tell me,
There's a whole pecking order that I guess there is. So
I mean,
when it comes
which
to
of-
game stuff,
which of the mods actually provide something in terms of content?
None of them.
trolling. I mean, it's fun to troll them.
The only moderator.
no comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
The only moderator since I've been a content creator that's actually like legitimately helped create content was Kelbic, and that was the stuff he's done recently with getting the AMA stuff lined up for us to then work with the devs on, and then of course the trivia game show thing. Like those are two things that he did that were great, and
Honestly,
promised to do more of
Keep in
those.
mind-
Haven't seen it yet.
Nina too.
But-
Nina deserves a shout out for the work he did.
Hmm.
He's been there since the very beginning and he's been all around the community for a long time.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, Nina always did good work, but I'm not sure. Is he still around?
I think I think I'm not in the EE server. Oh, to see.
At this point, they have more bots than people on that server. Looking at them right now.
Some of them answering the Q&A.
True.
Some of them are flying mothers through lowsec right now.
They got rid of the
So anyway.
they got rid of the count that we'd always see at the top of the Discord that shows how many members and how many are online,
Mm-hmm.
but yet it still shows up
Yep.
in the link. If you try to share the server with somebody, you can see what that number is.
Yeah.
So
What was that number, by the way?
75,000
lately?
members, 5,800 online,
Okay.
roughly.
So it was in the low 70s the last time I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's higher.
But I did notice too that they deleted some roles and did some house cleaning too. So
They did, which is good.
Um,
You got to do that to your Discord every once in a while. Just things end up growing, changing, diluting. So that's
So,
all fine.
we
All right,
have-
we done with the Discord bot thing.
yeah, I'm tired of
Yeah.
talking about that. Now they had the patch notes release on
Mhm.
the first. I was gonna say the 11th, and it hasn't even happened yet. But the patch notes, although relatively small, they had some big changes inside of them. You got the patch notes up, Taylor?
I do. I've got the thing up that they teased us with. They showed the Crimson Harvest pumpkin again and get a logo thing for server maintenance all around Halloween for November 1st. A little late, but also kind of teased that, oh, wow, was there going to be some sort of thing with this? Oh, no, of course not. That just was a nice thing to image-wise to throw up. So, oh, well. Then we get into the patch notes. Yeah, this is all jacked. Shit, I wish I wouldn't have done that. There we go. You're just not going to be able to read all of it on the stream. That's okay.
Rip.
New
got a weird zoom
content.
to it.
Yep. New content. Citadel maintenance system upgrade. Upgrade the maintenance system of Corporation Citadel. Reducing its maintenance time and fuel usage during normal operations does not affect the outpost. You need to reach Corporation level 6, which is what? Sanctum? Before you can
Yep.
upgrade it. So, a lot of us, when we first read that in the patch notes, were like, that's cool. We can reduce our fuel usage. So, just that right there, all right, for those of you who don't know, a T1, 2, and 3 Citadel don't really use a whole ton of fuel. Like, you can throw a bunch of fuel in there, and, oh, look, it's going to last for 384 days. Whoop-de-doo. A T4 Citadel, if you upgrade it if you had 380 days worth of fuel in it, and you upgraded it to a T3, that 380 days turns into like 61. That's how much fuel it consumes in terms of the difference in between the two. And whether you realize this or not, T5 Citadels are coming. So really level 2, right? In the game, it would be level 2.
Yeah.
We all kind of refer to it as a T5. Those things are coming. You're going to have those for Titans. Which reminds me, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show last week for that information I got from Cloud. Maybe it was after that. I forget when I got that from Cloud. But anyway, so T5 Citadels are coming, and they're going to use a shit ton of fuel, and so they're getting you ready for that. That you're going to want. You're going to want to spend probably 180 billion in order to reduce your fuel costs. So. That was the big thing that came out of that. Was one of the two things that came out of that. But the other one is reducing its maintenance time. So when I read that, I started wondering to myself, does that mean if I strip the shields, the time it takes for the shields to come back, like that 24-hour period, does that reduce that maintenance? Like, what is that? Is it going to be a different time? Is it not going to be 24 hours anymore? What does that mean? What does that actually look like? And what it actually means is when you do strip the shields, you've got the 24-hour timer before they start to repair again, but your repair time has just been shrunk. That maintenance time of your repair is no longer a 15-minute window or an hour and 15-minute window like it is on a T4. It's now shorter because you can reduce it.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Because you spend a ton of risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people have T4 Citadels, but it's a 1 hour repair timer for that. And
Right.
so with this, you upgrade this, then obviously that number comes down.
Correct. And it's a Corporation Citadel. It's not a T1, 2, or 3. So let's just Make sure I clarify that. It's a corporation citadel, not a corporation outpost. So it's going to be
The Citadel's the T4, right?
correct. So T4, T5 is what's affected by that. That entire line right there is really applicable to T4s and T5s, not 1, 2s, and 3s.
Like, I didn't realize it took an hour to repair a T4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to guard that thing for X amount of time. Yep. Yep. T4s are T4s are kind of a bitch to take. I'm not gonna lie. They are a bitch to take. With that said, I think that's a good thing. I honestly, I think that that time needs to be extended, and it's quite possible what they'll do is at some point, whether they say it or not or whatever, is they will extend that repair time, and then you'll have to have this maintenance time to get it back within something reasonable. I'm willing to bet that's either they'll do that, or the T5s won't be an hour. They'll be like 4 freaking hours, which I will just fucking love. I will just love that. I will just love that because now you have a lot harder time of time tanking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't set your timer for 9 a.m. on a Friday morning and think that you're good. No, it could be 9 to freaking 12, right? So I would love that. I would love to see the T5s take forever and a day to repair.
I don't know,
So-
because that's going to be harmful in terms of gameplay.
On one hand, it would be
The,
harmful in terms of gameplay because it's going to take a lot more to take those things out, right? And or defend them.
If you want it, you gotta pay
Yeah.
the price for it. That's
Yep.
the deal.
Yep.
I guess
wonder how many
it's
energy points it's going to have.
Yeah.
my guess there is it's actually probably going to be harder to defend but easier to attack in because of that if they are that long to take.
Right.
Because you've got to defend it for the full time. But
Full time.
if you're attacking it, you could wait until the last hour.
That's correct. That's what I love about it. Because really when you look at a T4 right now, the way it is in game, what you have to have on grid, not only what you have to have on grid to take the shields in like a reasonable amount of time is a lot. And it's more with the armor, and it's even more with the hull. Like it just gets more and more and more and more. Longer. So, and I'm cool with that. I think that's great. That makes those things much more valuable to take. It makes them harder to take. But man, it's the time zone tanking issue. And I say this as a guy who's time zone tanking in the U.S. prime time, right? Like, because we can. I just think that that's a mechanic that needs to be looked at a little bit to where there's a window there. Either maybe it's not an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours worth of repair time. Maybe it's okay, I set it for this time on Fridays for the whole timer, but it could come out of its repair and start that clock at any time within the 4 hour window, within a plus or minus of when I set that time, which is how it's done in EVE Online. It makes that a lot more competitive on both sides of it. Like not only do you have to try to accommodate for that time, but so does the other party involved, right? Instead of just, I know it's on my time. I've set it for my time. I know when we are at our strongest. Well, now we've got a plus or minus window inside of there. It makes it much more difficult. Which I think all makes, destruction makes for a better environment in the game period. That's just my 2 cents.
Oh yeah, like actually forcing, in terms of needing a lot more to take down the armor, shields, armor, and all that, the higher level citadels forces capitals into play.
It does.
And that's only going to be good as long as people have actually been paying attention to the meta and been buying up capitals or building capitals.
And not just that, not just building capitals, but skilling capitals. And by skilling, I don't mean in the skill tree. I mean implants. You think Warhead Charge is fun on a Purifier 3, wait until you put that on a fucking Phoenix.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah,
even then, you could have all the skills trained, the implants at level 45, but you need to have that practical experience as well.
You do. So,
Yeah.
Zayed, you're
Interesting change there.
funny. Good feature? What?
All right.
Impossible.
What?
New Eden Store update added classified 3 gravitational wave graph clone bound to the daily special points store. So whatever. What drops
Yay.
in the Grav 3? I know that's kind of a coveted one, and I know it's a hard one to do. You can't really, maybe you can solo it if you jump in and out a bunch, but what exactly drops in those? I forget.
I don't know. I've sold all of the ones that I had to people that
B
wanted
types
them.
and other stuff, but
B
mainly like
types do drop?
yeah, higher B types, A
Oh.
types, some stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
All right, that's cool. Nanocore update. I know this was a big one that a lot of Science C owners were upset about. The Neon Gas Core could not be upgraded to an AI core. I have no idea why, but now it can. So now we've got a lot of guys that are going to be doing AFK AI ratting and a Science C with their Neon Gas Core in a high-sec island or, please God, somewhere in null-sec, and I can find you.
I actually want to say that I've seen a couple Science-y lost mails to where they had a purple nanocore on it, but I don't know if it was the neon gas one.
There's 2 of them, I think.
So they
Or maybe there's more than
had a
that.
Starbeat. Did they have a Starbeat? Possibly. I don't remember. But
I don't remember. I'm pretty
I
sure
saw
they
this,
did
I'm
because they
like,
had a
oh,
lot
great.
of. Almost every capital had a Starbeat variant, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
I
And I
saw
know all
this
those
and
can
I was
be
like,
AI.
oh, great. Now Sciences get to be AI bots in the high-sec rat or the high-sec
Mhm.
islands. So
Mhm.
these are going to be rare. There's probably not too many of these out there in New Eden, but they were probably already in the high-sec island anyway.
Probably. And they did their normal optimizations, did some reprocess tips for material reprocessing of capital salvage parts, and of course they added the Discord verification account feature to the community. Yada yada yada. Don't care.
Yeah.
That's it for
So
the patch notes.
dun dun dun. Yay. All right. That's it for the patch notes. Sweet. Yeah. Moving on. I don't think they had very much else going on. Nothing else in player support news. Nothing else in announcements, at least not for today. I know, Taylor, you discussed a lot of stuff last week about the change of CMs,
Mm-hmm.
the Cloak Jammer coming out, and how all that works, which has been freaking amazing.
Yeah.
In case people didn't know, but yeah, I'm glad that got implemented. So won't really be hitting that much more. But I know there's a lot of confusion still as to how that works, and you have to have structure permission in order to be able to activate that. So you have to somehow you have to implement it into Discord, send it as a role, ping your officers, CEO or whatever. Hey, you need to activate this, so you can find that cloaky PvPer that's trying to do something in your system. But I'm sure a lot of people have already figured out how to use that anyway by now, so it's a week old or
Well,
week and a half old.
the bad part about it is it puts an icon up next to where you would see the jammer icon. So if you're flying around trying to find targets, you'll see the yellow icon. Looks like a little yellow radio tower thing in a circle. Yeah, sometimes it does it on the first one and not the second. Maybe they got hit by another one in another area. Who knows? Because it's a compounding thing. It is actually 2 clicks. But it does stack too. But what I'm getting at is it shows you that icon right there in game. And so when you're flying around looking for targets, you're in a system where your cloak isn't going to be as useful as you think it is. And you can see that countdown timer too for how long you're disrupted. So if you're in System A and they hit that button once, and then you go to System B and they hit that button again, you are now nullified. Even though they only hit it once, it's because you were hit twice with that wave or whatever.
Yep.
So
there are potential things that anyone moving like blockade runners around space are going to have to pay attention to those as well.
Yep.
Because there are some shenanigans you can pull.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's ways around it. not necessarily. Well, yeah, I'm sure there are ways to quote unquote get around it in terms of your cloak isn't on. Doesn't matter. And you get hit with a wave, and then you put your cloak on, right? And then you get hit with a wave, it's still going to go down. So, and that time doesn't stack, though. So if you're hit with 2 waves in one system and 2 waves again in the next system, you're not getting that 15 minutes stacked between the two. You still just have the 15 minutes. Those 2 waves don't start stacking up again until the first one runs out.
Oh, for sure. And I it's one of those. Every new content has a counterplay. It's like I'm not being like, oh, this ruins this ruins that. It's just, I think people need to be aware that these things now exist, and if people are playing smart with where they position them, you've got to play even smarter with how you handle your Badger 2s, Nereus 2s, etc.
Yeah. Whatever you're trying to run through between low and null or whatever, yeah. Or even your own, honestly, because if you're flying through there in your own damn systems, and they're trying to catch a cloaky, you're gonna get that nullified as well. It's not like it doesn't work against your own blues and system. It works against everything. So
Yeah.
It affects friendly. Yes,
Effects friendly.
Yep,
Yes.
affects everybody.
All right.
So this means the people who make overly use CCTV, they can't use them in those systems.
Mm-hmm.
Not with them cloaked, right? Yeah. Now they can in a system where it's not, there's no SOV or there's no jammer. Obviously, they can still do that. But yeah, it does change up that game a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So that is it for all the latest game news. Give it an hour, and then I'm sure there's going to be some sort of Discord announcement about something. So as soon as we'll end the show, I'm sure
Yeah,
something
another
will
dev
come out.
Q&A
It's
will
usually
come
how
out.
it is.
Yeah.
They seem to have changed their announcements again on the timing.
Yeah.
So the timing, it must just be a CM thing, but the timing just continuously changes. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure how
we
that
actually
works,
have-
but it is a CM thing. You're right. I don't know why.
We actually we have a voicemail, and because I was away last week, I didn't get to play it, but I do have it. I do have it queued, and it does, just based off the auto-generated text, I do get a roast in here. So let's hear what they have to say.
Hey Taylor, Rambo, this is Train Demon. I say Taylor Rick for Senior CC instead of Rambo, since Taylor gives better content than Rambo does. Is the CSM still up and running, or is that dead in the water? And also, do you guys think we'll get Titans before Christmas? Thanks. Bye.
Boom. Roasted.
Yeah. So
no to Titans before Christmas.
although Taylor does provide better content, all of this, he falls under the E1
Yep.
banner, which I am the owner of. So though I've been doing it for a year longer than Taylor has,
Mm-hmm.
I got the senior status. Though I think had he given another, say in a year from now, I think he would probably apply for that. But in all honesty, the whole senior content creator chat is dead anyway. Like, nobody talks in there anyway. So
Well, that's why
there's
you
no
should just
real
add
huge
me,
benefit.
right? I mean, that way the two of us can just talk to each other in there.
yeah, and the mods,
And the
mods
mods.
are in there, but
Right.
we just talk to the mods.
You can talk about the channel.
can't
that
ping
you
the
don't have
devs.
access to.
We can't talk to anybody else but each other in there, so whatever, right?
think
There's no real benefit to it.
But, well, there is a benefit to it. I think I'm going to apply to it maybe by the end of the year, start the year anyway, and see if I can't get it, because there is a little bit of other incentive that comes with it. Two things, right? One is the 4 duo megas a week instead of 2, so then I'd be able to give away 4 every week on the trivia game show that I'm now actually doing on Eve Echo's Discord. So like that would be a benefit to them for me to want to have more of those to give away and make that a bigger thing for their own Discord. So that would be nice. Then there's the other side of it too. I don't know if you want me to mention it or not, but yeah, there's the there's the game show, by the way. It's finally coming back now that we're able to get the those things back out. Cartley's told me that they're going to be much more, a little quicker on that. There's no way for him to be, or her, whatever, to be able to do anything with the in-game notifications, but they are going to be quicker on giving us those rewards. So when we turn those in, it should be within the following week. By the time I do the show again, that someone's already gotten their Duo Omega. That's the goal, to get to that point. So that is coming up again on Wednesday, in the afternoon. So, but there's going to be more than just the 2 that I have. Other CCs are joining in on that. Mario's putting up his 4. Rambo, I don't know if you're going to put up a couple or not. I think somebody else, Jubileus, is going to put up 2.
I don't otherwise give them away.
Yeah.
So unless they're not related to the show or anything, sure, give them out. Basically, allocate mine as in yours for the trivia event, because
okay, cool.
I don't send them out otherwise, because I just get too many issues regarding winners anyway. They don't get notifications. They don't get it in general because they submitted the wrong. There was a capital A instead of a lowercase a, and so therefore it didn't go through. Weird stuff like that happens. And so it just seems more issues than not with that whole stuff. But when they do the trivia, what they do is they have a spreadsheet that they submit with the IDs and the names, and that goes directly to whoever's going to actually submit those on the dev team. So I think that's a better way of doing it than us filling out that stupid sheet every week. So, like the last time that when you gave Cartley that Excel sheet.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
And I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to do that. And maybe they, he, she will be okay with that moving forward. I don't know. Try to work something out. So that'll be good. There was something. Oh, well, then there's the other side of it too. There's actually a monetary side of that. So I'd love to be able to dump that back into the game too, as in give it to the players. I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be able to give that up as some kind of prizes. Like, I can't really transfer R to anybody. You can't transfer Plex without selling it. So I'm not sure. And a lot of the things you can buy with that is clone bound, right? So there's got to be some way to be able to...
So, get this.
Yeah.
And I've done this before. Is if you want to give somebody Plex, you just have them make a buy order at 1 ISK, and you fill it. Because who else is going to do that unless you're going to go out of your way
great point.
To generously do that? If they want X amount of ISK that you're able to provide them, just make a buy order on the market for 1 ISK a piece and just sell it to them for that. They're obviously going to make bank off of that.
Is there a minimum or no?
There might be on that. I don't know if you could do a buy order for 1 ISK. If it could, I know you can't sell.
Yeah, check real quick, Zayed.
Ziad will check.
Yeah. And if not that, then there's got to be some other kind of an item, right? That you then... Yeah, $15 gift card. Yeah, exactly. Google Play Store or Apple's gift card, something like that. I think it'd be a fantastic way to do a give back and a giveaway. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Or sponsor an event.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's another part to that voicemail is whether or not the CSM is still up and running, or is that dead in the water? So yes and yes, actually. Yes, it's still up and running, and yes, it's pretty dead over there. And it seems like half of the people that got voted onto it don't talk or do anything and or quit the game or just backed out in general. So we'd talked about re-elections already once, and that was like at the 6 month that was at the six month, I don't know what you want to call it, but trying to get maybe some fresh blood in there or some different minds, but they've already been declined twice. And reasons, I kind of figure there's some other people that are I think lobbying against it. I'm not going to get too much into detail there, but not much is going on over there as it is. It's pretty quiet. I think mostly due to NetEase shooting it down not only once but twice.
3 out of the 3 active CSM members on that server are also on this podcast, if that gives you any hints.
And nobody else does really anything.
So,
I mean, granted, I fall under the category of not doing anything because there's nothing to be done.
There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say OC has, in his defense, Mr. Discord King, he has a lot of really good ideas of what that server could be, of what that thing could do and become, either up until NetEase wants to listen to the CSM or even if they never do. I just don't know who's going to really work on that. Because I don't have the time for that level of detail. Wikis, player guides that are actually, good, detailed, correct, and kept up to date. I mean, he's got a lot of really good ideas there for that. I just don't have the time to be able to do those kinds of projects. Not in any kind of speed. So.
Yep. So it kind of is what it is over there. And then, Taylor, I know you've gotten some info on this. Hopefully it doesn't break NDA, even if your personal DMs are considered NDA. But do you think we'll get Titans before Christmas?
No. No, we won't. We will get T5 Citadels before we get Titans. We'll get Blops this year still, so that's coming.
So, Blops. When Blops?
Like, if it doesn't come by the end of this month, it should be within the first next week. You never know. If it doesn't come by the end of this month, then they'll be here first week of this is me going off my gut feeling of what I've seen, heard, their timeline they put out, and all of that. Okay, so it's nothing that I've heard from Cloud that's written in stone, but my gut feeling is sometime between now and first week of December, somewhere in there. It's not going to be like end of year kind of thing. It'll be really, really soon.
Usually it's the week after we talk about it, so
yeah,
possibly next week.
Yeah, and I don't know, Reaper, what their implementation of Blops is going to be. I do know that the Fulmination server is getting updated faster than what it has been in the past. Cartley's actually making sure to push for that. Everything is on the Fulmination server as of 2 weeks ago, which is a huge improvement because it hadn't been updated in like 4 months. So that doesn't mean that we're going to have Blops on the Fulmination server for us to be able to test out, look at, and talk about before they're released in the game. But I'm very hopeful that however they implement them and release them, within that first week, we should be able to get Fulmination server after the fact and then really be able to push them, because I'm just going to warn people right now, or just soften the blow. However they're implemented, however they actually work, is going to pale in comparison to what we're going to have to do to actually get them. I don't think these things will be in a box unless it's a box that's like extreme amounts of money. How you build them is going to be huge. They're going to take CE materials just like the Navy issues do. They're going to be, they're going to be a bitch to build. They're going to be very high in IP. I can just see that trend with how everything's been going so far with the Navy issues, even the frigates, the special frigates, and all of that. So just be prepared for that. These are not going to be cheap ships. With that said, I want one. I'll sell a kidney. So
I want like 7.
Yeah, exactly. Not just one, like multiple. Yeah. Because if you can do a covert Sino, if you can get around a jammer with these things, holy hell. Holy hell. The whole game changes. The whole entire game changes.
But I bet insurance is going to be pricey on them.
Yep. If you can buy Plex for the insurance.
Yeah, we'll see.
Plex seems like it's more readily available right now. It's high, but at least it's there, right?
7 million a pop. Yeah. Wow. I remember when reporting the news of Plex being 3 million a pop and being like, holy crap, oh my gosh. It's up over 7 million right now.
Oh my God, Nala, you're right. Imagine if you have to have a Navy issue as the whole, along with other build materials to make the blobs. I would laugh so fucking hard.
Well, if they go off of the EVE Online blops, they'll be based off of the Typhoon, Armageddon, Dominic's, and Scorpion hulls.
Right.
Here's the thing: they hate everything. They want to be different from EVE Online. So if it's this way in EVE Online, expect the complete polar opposite of it. That's their entire approach to everything. We're
Oh,
not
that's
like
your
Online,
that's
so
your
they
that's
just
your
watch it.
salty perspective, Zayed.
I mean,
Exactly.
sure,
I'm very salty about this.
but like the strikers are basically the marauders,
Yeah.
and those are based on the same hulls.
It's a simplistic version of what's in EO. Everything they've implemented is a simplified version of what's in EO. In some cases, way
Stupid
too
version.
oversimplified. But you have to do that. There's certain reasons why you have to do that. All right, it's a mobile game. It's played on a phone. Right, EO is played on a PC with a hardline connection. For crying out loud, they couldn't even make CCP couldn't even make Eve Everywhere work. Right, I tried that. I tried playing that on an iPad, and you could barely collect PI. Every once in a while, your ship would just spin nonstop, and the whole screen is just you just have to close it out.
That's
horrible.
understandable. But here's the thing: there are stuff that doesn't require hard gameplay, like the tech level 3, which I'm still salty about. It's been 2 years right now. I am still salty about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need gameplay. You have just to use common sense. It's really not that hard.
Well, I think what they did with the tech tree, when you start off as a T1, T4, graduate up to T4, T5, and then ships at certain tech levels. I think what they did with that for the beginning of the game was very smart. It made for really great content when everybody was coming into the game new. I think what they forgot about and didn't plan ahead for is like what most people do, forget when they're planning these things out. Your actions have consequences, and they have long-lasting ones as well, which is what do we do with this when we're 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, and everybody's already well past T10, and anybody coming in new has a much harder time to get there. And they've talked about lots of different ways to try to counteract that and fix that. But they've only partially implemented some of those things. Yeah, it is a little irritating. It is a little irritating. But they can't change it. They can't get rid of the tech levels. Everybody keeps asking them to do that. You might got to realize it is too integral into the game. They can't get rid of it. They break the whole game if they try to get rid of it.
You don't have to get rid of it. That's the thing. Tech level should be tied to amount of SP, but you can't just gate lock me behind sorts of. For example, like you can't have battleship skills if you are not at least tech level 8. If you gate lock me behind every single tech level and I need to get a lot of ISK, especially like basic Omega is like 900 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which new player can get 900 million with a simple like Caracal Navy right now? Basically just
you can't.
slowing
You're paying
the
$4.99 a
player
month.
intake
Yeah.
and losing players from the other side.
Yeah. Well, the recent Plex inflation aside, that was a problem even before that. So because it was 420 million, it's double now.
Mm-hmm.
Even that was tough.
Exactly. I mean, basic Omega for a T10 is not hard anymore. Like 900 million is just a walk in the park. You can get half of that doing dormants. But you have to consider the new players, they're not gonna have it easy like that.
Nope, that's why they get Corp Omega.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Chained, I hope that answers your questions.
Good voicemail.
So thank you for the voicemail, and that goes to anybody that want to send us voicemails. We could play them on the show and react to them. It could be anything. Could be questions. Could be shit talking. It doesn't matter. We will play it. All right. So I'm actually going to skip consider your suggestion for time sake. So I will jump into the commercials, and once we are done with that, we'll talk about the community news from the past week. So you ready there, Taylor?
I'm ready.
All right. Be right back.
Eve Echoes presents Real Pilots of New Eden.
Real Pilots of New Eden.
Today we salute you, Mr. Supersonic Frigate Racer.
Mr. Supersonic Frigate Racer.
Ever ready to take on the gauntlet at top speed. Moving so fast that you even black screened yourself.
I'm sure I can go faster.
Power grids are meaningless as long as that large micro-warp drive does its job.
Where deep I can go.
Other racers use things like inertia rigs. You laugh at them while staring at the 36 billion ISK sunk into your integrated rigged interceptor. So crack open a cold can of Quaif, old sultan of the speed barrier, because if you're not first, you're last.
Mr. Supersonic Frigate Racer.
And now an ad from Mario Pinterman. Snuggly Care Bear or a dangerous pirate? Warp to Moby and donate your Killmails to find out. Get mind-blowing facts from your next post like a real Reddit propaganda warrior. Install the official Killmail bot from echoes.moby now and get statistics netties don't want you to have.
And we are back. And thank you for doing that ad there, Taylor. I actually didn't know when the end of it was. I hadn't heard that one, so
Yeah.
good deal. All right, so shall we talk about the upcoming events that are going to be happening on the official Eve Echoes Discords, as well as this one. So you got a trivia game coming up here soon. I did see somebody in Eve Echoes general chat saying that we should do trivia games. I'm like, we do. I don't know how new they are to the server. And then I said we do, and they said that they've never heard them before. And then I sent the link to one of our Who Wants to Be a Billionaire shows. I told that person, hey, we got a trivia show coming up this week. When is that? That's the 8th. So what is that, Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Taylor Rick will be doing a trivia show this week on the official Eve Echoes Discord, of course, giving away Duo Omegas. Who's going to be there with you?
I'm not sure. The other CCs kind of drop in and just come up on the stage and talk a little bit and listen. So it's open to any of the other CCs that want to drop in. I think Mario said he was going to be there. And I think Jubileus said he was going to be there too, but I can't recall who else said they would drop in. So last time I looked.
What time is that?
It's at 4 o'clock on Wednesday Central Standard Time. If you go look at the event on that Discord, it'll tell you in your local time when it's going to start. But it's on Wednesday. So it should be a good time zone for EU and US players.
It shows 3 p.m. my time, so that's going to be pretty late for EU, say
it's not too bad.
9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
10 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
It shows that 387 people are interested in this event, by the way.
I was going to say that number's huge. The last time we did one of these, we only had about 30 people in the audience, which was more than enough for the numbers of questions that we had. This time around, it's going to be absolutely nuts. And I want to make sure that channel that we're going to be talking in is actually going to count towards people's gamma clone or not. Like, what if it doesn't?
Mod abuse. Somehow it's not going to go through.
Somehow it won't. I'm going to get pissed. Because I have like the lowest stats for someone talking on that Discord, and yet I talk in the CC channel all the freaking time. So I don't it doesn't count that. It has to be like that one general chat channel, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I barely break alpha, let alone
needing
to get gamma.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no, that's going to be a big one. That's a lot of people. So we'll have 10 as of right now. When Rambo said that earlier, that I did some adding. We'll have 10 Duo Omegas to give away that day. That is a real Duo Omega, 30 days. And I don't think anybody's won any Duo Omegas in 35 plus days, other than that last trivia game show we did, because it's been that long since we've given them out. So everybody should be free and clear with either their main, their alt. You can win multiple times. And so how it works is it's really just me on voice. I will type it up, and then I will read it once I hit enter to submit it in so everybody can see it in the chat window that's in that same thing like the chat window we have here for the stage. Same thing there, although we do everything here on the on-air chat. First person to answer that question correctly by typing it in wins. Now, there is a such thing as a server tick on Discord as well. So just because someone answers first and then another person answers second doesn't mean I see it in that same order. That has happened before. People trying to answer so fast.
Latency applies. Latency applies. Yeah.
Oh, I like this GIF. I love that. That's good.
So you'll be streaming that on our Twitch as well, so people can watch that later if they do miss it.
I will post it up to YouTube and Twitch later so that they can watch it, but I will not live stream it, because when you live stream it, that means only 150 can be in that stage, and there's already well over that signed up.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, I won't be able to do that.
Okay.
And even the mods
Good
told
deal.
me don't do that because then you'll limit it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to limit it. It's fine. So, no worries. We'll
Damn, they
see
get
how many of those people
150,
actually show
We only
up.
get 50.
Yeah, 150.
Then we have the racers announced for the Eve Echoes race, Need for Speed. So that came out today as well. You posted an announcement for that.
I did. We do have the racers. It is Chained Demon 93, Muffin, M. Sharas Khan, Rev Kin, Cracklin, Master Joda, Fall Sharon, Scepter 73, and Animal.Mother. Those are your 9 racers.
So I recognize a majority of these names except for that last one, Animal Mother.
That's Arctic Lizard from S3VG.
Savage. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that character I know. I didn't know that one specifically, but good deal. It looks like you got some speedy pilots in there. Let's just say that. And I guarantee you, none of these guys are broke.
Yeah.
Question I have is, how many of those guys are Yoda's ults?
None.
Asking
None of
for a
them are.
void pilot?
Asking for Void.
Yeah. No, what's funny is Void doesn't know all his alts, but
Yeah.
because I've asked him, I was like, "Do they know?" And he's like, "No, I don't think they do." But
it's pretty
so that's
easy.
kind of funny. But do note that betting is going to be opening here soon on New Eden Black Market, and I've already seen people trying to put money on Joda.
Yep.
Yeah, Joda's a good frigate pilot and all, but there are other speedy pilots out there. So I'm just kind of sad that my fastest Scepter pilot in the Corp didn't sign up for this. Timing didn't work in his case. But it is what it is. You know, he decided against it, but I do have a couple others that are in that lineup, so curious to see how they'll do. And we got some more details as to how all that's going to go down, though we do not have the track public just yet. Not even the racers know that info until later on this week.
Yep.
But a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff has been going on, so we're trying to finalize all that and get that lined up, and it's going to be freaking crazy.
It is. I think it's going to be. I think this thing has a potential to turn into an all over the map kind of thing. I don't know about an all the time thing. I think there's a season for everything in life, right? And so I don't think it's going to be one of those types of events that happens just round all year long. I think there has to be a time when it's going and a time when it's not. But I do think this thing has a potential. With the number of people who approached me and said, "Why? I'm not in Silent Federation. I'm not blue to silent. Why am I not allowed to join?" It's like, well, it's not that you're not allowed to join or we don't want you to race. It's that we're going to be using ANSI gates. And I'm not opening those up to everybody for a race. So the continuing thought process there is that I kind of still look at this too as like a trial run. I've never done one of these before like this. I don't think anybody's. By the time you guys see this finished product and what it looks like on Twitch, I think it'd be fair to say that no one's ever seen anybody do a racing event like this before in Eve. I know there's lots of other racing events. I know people have their own spin on things. I know there was one in Silent before that I believe Hayu did. This is going to be different. This is going to be done in a different style, and I'm hopeful that people are going to enjoy it. That it's different than anything else they've seen before. And with a number of people outside of the Fed who've contacted me wanting to get involved with it and race, I am very confident that once we do this again, whenever that is, after we get through this one, and we open it up to all of New Eden, we will have a shit ton of pilots, way more than 9 sign up. I have a feeling. In fact, the number of people who've contacted me out of Silent Fed and said they wish they could join into it is already greater than 9. So, I mean, it's like 15 or 16 or something like that. So that's just right off the bat.
Could I enter in a battleship?
No. It's all T8 interceptors for this race.
He
My
can
Megatron
enter
identifies as an
camp.
interceptor.
right.
Well, that's another
Yeah.
way we could do this. If we did another race after this, we could just say it doesn't matter what ship you're flying. I don't care what ship you're flying, as long as it doesn't have any high slots or mid slots. No offensive or E-War. Well, I threw out to Mbuto that, I think, I'd love to see Webbs. Webbs and Nosses or Newts in the mid slots so that you could actually, newt your fellow racer or web him. I think that'd be hilarious, but that introduces a lot of other things into it. So for now, no.
Well, this does give people that aren't part of the Alliance or Blue, they could jump in just to cause havoc or attempt to.
Yeah.
So that's part of the whole thing, right? Is like, there could be dangers. We don't know at the time of. Granted, we may know as spectators or commenters, we probably will know of camps or whatever, but we don't know who's going to be doing that, if it will be a thing, or how much damage they are going to do. Because obviously, like pod racing, I guess, in Star Wars, once you're dead, you're dead. You're not.
Yeah, you don't come back.
You're not going to come back and just restart and think that you're going to win.
Yep.
So, but another thing too, I think this is discussed in one of our channels talking about it, was what was the lap? Wasn't it going to be like an 8-minute lap? Is that what you were saying? It was like a 7 or 8 minute lap.
The racetrack that's laid out right now, which is what we're going to be running on Saturday, is just over. I can do it in just over 6 minutes because I've done it multiple times now. So I know what a lap should be because it's going out one way, going back the other. In the qualifier, there'll be just one. In the final, they'll probably have to do it twice, 2 laps, same course twice. And I haven't nailed that down yet, and I'm not going to nail it down yet until I see how well this layout works and what it does, what it doesn't do, how close everybody comes into the finish line, that kind of thing in the qualifier. There's a reason we're doing a qualifier. The qualifier is like a trial run. It's also to cut out any pilots that are way too slow. With that said, we have 9 people signed up. As long as all 9 of them are relatively, like there's not like one guy who we're waiting on for 15 fucking minutes for no reason. Like that guy will probably get cut. But other than that, all 9 will be in the final. So.
Yeah. But even then, a 6-minute lap, that's a pretty hefty lap. That's not a Nürburgring lap, but 6 minutes for a lap on a track that's pretty long. So let alone 2.
Right.
So yeah, it'll be a pretty fun event. I hope to get interviews and music and everything else lined up for this next week. Of course, we're going to be gathering info during this week from all those pilots that had signed up. So overall, should be a pretty fun trial run of an event that we will have here on. It won't be on. Will it be on this Discord?
Yeah.
How are we going to spectate that?
Yeah, it'll be on this Discord and then streamed live to Twitch.
I suppose. I mean, it could have been the Alliance or Coalition Discords, but I mean, we
Yeah,
could
it could
do
have
it here
been.
too.
Yeah, it could be. Well, anywhere that's going to have a stage, essentially, kind of needs to be done that way.
Okay.
It'd be better to do it here since we have control over it. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Good deal.
And it's not just going to be speed. It's not just straight speed. This isn't going to be one of those things. Well, I have a higher AU speed and a higher velocity speed, therefore I win. That's not how it's going to be laid out. There's more to it than
Nope.
just flat speed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm telling you, I want to bring a battleship.
Bring it. What's stopping you?
yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say,
not in silent.
I know. That'd still be funny though. Be on grid. That'll be hilarious.
All right. So now the next, I guess, breaking news, you could call it, is the Reddit post that was posted yesterday. This was sent to me by Red Lofty, and he had posted this Reddit post, and it's titled "OG is not recruiting." So if you wanted to pull that up for the Twitch, for the people that don't read Reddit,
I got it up.
but he does introduce himself, does apologize for a long post. Granted, I'm going to sum this up just a little bit, but there's no doubt that SHH has proven themselves to be the largest alliance in the game and formidable opponents, attacking OG, the weakest alliance among the main power brokers, even before some left, is exactly what I would have done too. What we expected to be a short and brutal campaign instead was a long and arduous conflict for over 4 months, which saw 80% of the player base leave to join other alliances with safer spaces or quit. Things got spicy when Cinna joined, and the power of supers were displayed too. So, in summary, OG is no longer an active alliance. They had rebranded to Drop Bears Alliance.
Drop Bears. I don't know where
Is it
that
just
name
is it
comes
just
from.
called Bears Alliance or Drop Bears Alliance?
Well, drop is the
ticker.
tag. Yeah, is the tag, and then Bears is just the name of the alliance. Yeah, but just straight Bears.
Yeah.
Different name.
Not many are aware, but OG did not hold a magical war chest of endless ISK like it was rumored, or at least it wasn't handed over to us, and I don't want to delve into any conspiracies here. For the greater part of it, Mildly Intoxicated Corp, which I'm a part of, has been funding OG programs to keep things operating smoothly. This was all done whilst turning off all taxes when we took charge in the effort to support all members of what we knew was an impending firestorm. Corps got to leave OG with the best opportunity to rebuild and enjoy the game. So I did skip a paragraph here where they did receive numerous offers and threats from various parties across New Eden, but we felt that OG deserved to be seen through to the end, both in a sense that it played a role in getting itself here as well as the fact that our opponents deserved an honorable and valid fight. Anything less would be a cop-out in a game about shooting each other. So this, I guess, to Silent, this isn't really news because we've known about this for at least a week, maybe longer. I think we'd even forgotten to talk about it 2 weeks ago when I was on the show last. Just one of those things that we ended up not talking about.
I mean, I knew this was coming for almost the whole month of October.
So, now I did ask Lofty a couple questions whether or not they are still part of Pact, and they said yes, Pact still applies. They applied to it as a new member. So
that is what I don't understand.
I
don't understand a
right,
lot of.
I'm kind
Actually,
of,
there's a lot of this in here I don't understand either. But that part right there is you've done absolutely nothing. This didn't do anything for you. So if I'm an executor, let's just back up for a second and think about that for a moment. I'm executor of an alliance. Okay? That alliance gets its face kicked in by another alliance. We lose. We're done. Like you said, 80% of everybody took off. They're done. They're dead. They know it. So they disband. And then you rebrand into a new alliance name. You want to settle in the same exact place, and you want to join the same exact pact that left you to die the first time in the same exact reason all over again. What really changed? Not a goddamn thing. All you did was just shuffle the decks on the Titanic is all you did. You haven't done anything. And the only two things about this statement that I don't like and I don't understand that I'm going to sit here and bitch about right now is Lofty seeming to think that just because he changed the name of the alliance, Silent should leave him alone. No, I'd leave you alone if you didn't join Pact, but you refuse to do that. So you're still a target, man. All of you guys down there in old OG space, now drop bears, whatever the fuck space, you're still all targets. Like, nothing's changed. I don't know what the hell you thought you gained by doing any of this. You're still all targets. So whatever, it did nothing for you. The other thing here that he mentions that it's like, what planet are you on? Silent has proven themselves to be the largest alliance in the game. Do you still not understand who the fuck AOA is? What the hell are you talking
You can't
about?
speak about your overlords. You
What
can't
in
speak
the
bad about them.
what in the actual hell? The same AOA guys, by the way, that are dropping Sov in your old space right in front of your face, and you're just loving it. I don't understand.
No, you can't speak bad about Daddy. Daddy AOA will thank you if you say something wrong.
I don't get it.
It's easier to say that Silent is bad than point up them to AOA. I mean, they come to help. They came to the defense of 1L before, so you can speak bad about them.
Yeah.
So,
one time.
2Ls.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time.
I guess when I had read this, that was the greatest mystery for me. Granted, I mean, I had to ask, like, you're still part of Pact? And I'm just kind of thinking as to why would they rebrand an alliance that's basically dead anyway into a new alliance? So what's the whole purpose of this anyway?
I would think the purpose of doing that was to say, okay, OG is dead. Everybody that's been fighting us, you won. You killed OG. We're gonna start over again and rebrand, and we're gonna move somewhere else. Like, that would be like how you would end a war with somebody. Is you would negotiate. Look, I'm out. I don't want to be part of this anymore. You've killed us all. We're dead. We want to move on. And they honestly thought that Silent would just leave them alone if they did that, stayed in the same spot, and joined Pact. Like, they honestly, I'm telling you, they honestly think that. They really honestly think that. I don't. What planet are you on? Like, in terms were not threatened. Terms were laid out very specifically to Mr. Lofty, like very simple terms. All he had to do to exit this war was to drop OG. They can rebrand. They can do whatever the hell they want. They just can't do it in the same space, and they can't rejoin Pact. That's it. It's real simple. Then we could leave you alone. They refused to do that. They literally refused to do that for a month.
You can't say that, man. You're gonna sound like a big mean guy right now.
Right. Like, I didn't get to see this conversation that would happen in somebody's embassy, because I don't think it was Silence. But they had an option to opt out of the war, and they actively decided against it just to go back into Pact.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
When it happens to you, you deserve it. When it happens to them, you're killing the community. It's just simple math. Like,
Exactly.
1 + 1 = 3.
Yep.
Well, look at the space that they're in. It's already being overtaken by AOA. So it's either you blew AOA, or you're forced to move into a different region that you either have to fight over. Granted, I mean, you're filling a vacuum. If it were a vacuum, you have to fight over whatever space that you want to move into, whether it's good space or not. You could debate about that. But they, from what I was told, they just do not want to move.
No, they don't want to move.
A lot of corporations that are in that area, just think about it, have moved several times already in the past in the course of the last 2 years. Let's say Pantheon War, people relocated. Oh, let's join OG. They're cool.
Catch 22.
GenFed, when it died, Catch 22. Oh, let's go over to OG Void. They're cool.
Content Coalition.
Sure. They all go to OG, and then now what? Now their leadership failed them. Now they have to move again. Granted, I don't see that as like why is it so hard to move? Like, it shouldn't be that. It's not that hard to move. What is it? Inconveniencing them that they have to go to a different part of space? Is it inconveniencing them that they have to join a new Discord alliance? They're making a Discord for drop. Obviously, OG had some security ties or something that they wanted to get rid of. I'm thinking Sandman probably owned that Discord and didn't give it up for whatever reason. I don't know. But OG had issues at numerous levels. Okay, wipe that.
OG's
Start
position
new.
was close to their former allies for like the Angel Cartel, like the Chinese guys or the X before they joined AOA, Void, Golden Horde from back in the day. These guys died and only Void and OG remained, so they stayed. They didn't want to move.
Just let me be blatantly honest, is forget the whole drop thing and just join Burr and become a renter. If you want a Care Bear, there's your Care Bear.
Well, they're gonna become renter.
They're gonna be forever blue to AOA anyway, so I mean they're basically all the same. So
listen, the same Detroit AOA is taken over right now. They paid no fault with them for them to keep Detroit, which AOA will happily take over now after we cleared it. So they lost everything. They cannot take the region from them because AOA will just stomp them like they are doing this to Meow right now. I don't know what they have with Meow, but they're having some structure warfare over some systems. And you can't truly.
And from what I'm hearing on that side of it too, it's not AOA stomping all over Meow. Meow's giving them a pretty good fucking run for their money.
Oh yeah, Meow's strong.
AOA's having a hard AOA's having a hard time in some areas against Meow.
Drop is not gonna do like Meow. Meow is strong. Meow has some pretty amazing guys in there. They have strong cap fleet. They have experience and they have commitment.
Yep.
Drop is just new. They will just not be able to even drop a single soft system.
Well, we've already had guys going in and hitting their structures that are still there under the drop banner, and we've already had them getting all. What are you guys attacking us? We don't understand. We're out of the war. You're not supposed to be attacking us.
When you leave Pact, you're out of the war. You can't still be.
I don't know. I think they need to revisit their Diplo room, their embassy, I guess, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Yo, but remember, you're gonna always be the mean big guy.
Yeah.
You're gonna always be after the community.
I'm supposed to be the nice guy. JD's supposed to be the mean guy. So I should be nicer.
JD's a big cuddly person. I don't know what anyone
is anymore. He is so fucking cuddly anymore. He is so damn easy anymore. I don't know what happened to him. He's so damn cuddly.
Oh, someone gotta play the bad cop in this.
Someone does.
Yeah, so that's the latest developments in there. OG is no longer, and so I do see that there's a number of comments in this. Some saying good fight, good luck. Others didn't have much good things to say other than OG was dead anyway. Here's a whole paragraph about spies. Don't use Alliance chat. There are spies.
That's hilarious.
I kind of had a chuckle at that one, but
don't use Alliance chat.
Don't use Alliance
our
chat.
Discord either.
In fact, just don't talk. There's spies watching. Just don't talk.
Oh Lord.
So that's actually the best time to talk, because then you talk shit, and then you wait for them to come back to you. Like, that's what I purposely do.
Yeah.
So I talk shit, and then I wait for it to come back to me. Yeah, I enjoy that. Let's just say that. I enjoy that. But anyway. I'm not going to name names, but there's names involved. Don't need to drop names.
But yeah. It's funny.
They love my name in their mouth. That's all I could say. Okay. So, Lotarra, since we have you here, you got a short story for us about a super kill you got this last week with the assistance of I'm just gonna say featuring SHH supers. So tell us a bit about how this fight went down, and heck, where's that kill mail? Show that share that kill mail too
Oh yeah,
Uh,
keep
in
going.
the
I'll,
on air chat.
I'll have to dig that kill mail out.
Did we
I
put it?
think
Did we put it in our staff, or did we put it in the show notes?
It's not
from
on
that
Moby,
week?
that's for sure.
It's not in Moby.
Oh yeah, I can't find it. I searched for it all over the place.
it's in my corp announcements somewhere, so
I'm scrolling through our.
I've got it.
You got it, okay.
So the short, I say the short uh, version of this is we've been deployed to Fountain for a little while now, and we noticed pretty much from day one that there's a couple of super pilots who are very blasé with their super usage. So we've reached out because we know that our friend Knox is very interested and capable of taking out caps, so especially supers. So we reach out and we have a conversation back in two. We spent 3 weeks feeding this guy T-10 battleship fleets, cruiser fleets. It got to the point where he was willing to chase us if we had a frigate fleet out. So we, on the day this happened, we took out a fleet of tornadoes, started hitting a citadel. That spawned that super plus a few more capitals. We bailed out, wiped our tornado fleet on him. We reshipped into strikers and managed to get him one jump out from a Sinojam system. Lit the Sino the other side, and that's pretty much all she's wrote.
The rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I seen this guy. I did see some other chatter. I do see in the on-air chat people are posting screenshots of Pact 23 chat. There was something in local about this guy calling that fleet, the So-So fleet of battleships or whatever, like noobs or something like that, kind of
Oh.
egging them on.
I did. I posted that. I posted
Right.
that last time we talked about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, guy,
And-
literally, we accidentally, but still it worked into our plan, whelped the tornado fleet. And he calls us newbies in local, and then literally, I think 20 minutes later, we Sino 6 supers onto him.
Not new, aggressively mid-tier. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best description of the corp to date has been from a friend of ours. It's we're basically 6 raccoons in a trench coat.
Okay.
I love it. That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun.
Now, I've seen this pilot in leaderboards for what is it, Dorman Realms. So it's obvious, like, you know, he uses this thing for DR. Obviously, was using it for PvP. Ended up getting baited, and this is now what the highest kill mail in the game so far
So
to
far,
date.
yeah, little over 2 trillion.
So
Which I think when it died, it wasn't over 2 trillion, but I think it is now when you go back and look at it. Maybe
Oh,
or is this
no.
the same,
It-
or was it
it
always
was-
over 2?
It was 2 trill
Well, go back and look
that
at.
day.
As I say, go back and look at it. Like we need Darth Cinna. We need Lady Visa to go pull that up now and see what it is now. I guarantee it's like 2.1 now, just from the increased prices between then and now.
I mean, we've had some good ones. I'm posting one of my favorite ones recently. It's a Cyan C that decided to take a nap that got killed by a Garmer and a Daredevil.
Oh God,
wow.
that's horrible.
And he dropped like everything. Yeah, those Sciences are up over 750 bill now. That's insane because they were just a hair under half a bill or half a trill.
Yeah.
We caught another one literally a day later. Same corp, same system.
Jeez.
So did I see somewhere where Phoenix BJ had said that he already replaced his lost super?
He has. He's replaced the hell. It's been seen this week.
Damn.
Yep.
Nettie's
You think
gotta
he'll make
love
the
that.
same mistake?
We're going to definitely do the work to find out.
Yeah.
How much do you got?
I'm sure his leadership's going to be like, you better stick to DR. You better not undock that unless we got backup.
Oh, I love
But
that.
yeah, there he is in the Dormant Realm leaderboards,
Mm-hmm.
crossed off.
Yeah, there it is, newbie.
That's where that. It's in that video that was supplied by Maddie. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty
So,
good stuff. Pretty
yeah.
good stuff.
The amount of super content is actually more than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean super content as in super PvP. They're out there. People are dropping them on fleets. Supers are killing other supers, whether it's being baited or sleepy. I don't know. Heck, I think even Taylor was trying to bait some supers this last week in Cobalt Edge. I don't know what the successes of that were, but I'm pretty sure there was some damage that was done there. You know, this is happening more than people know. I think in New Eden, even though that kill mill, I mean, 2 trillion, that's a lot of ISK. There's more of them out there than we know.
I'll share you. I just dug out another one. You guys will love it because it's AOA, but. This is one of our guys. He took his Stratios out for its first roam and came across this. Well, is it loading?
Nope.
No, I put it in general chat, not on air chat.
Rip on the timing. Oh, you put in general?
Yeah, I put it in general.
Yeah.
The Nidhogger was
Yeah.
54. Yeah, what's going on here?
First roam Stratios just kills a big Stratios.
Yep.
Bale and Geminite are full of butters, dude. It's just insane how many buttering. Miners, Bells, Apex Strikers, and look at this now.
54 bill Nidhogger. Good grief.
But SHH is the bad guy, so botters are okay. Death to SHH. So what's this other kill mail here that you posted in our show notes, Taylor, about the Stratios with small railguns on it?
Oh God, this is hilarious.
I'll post
so
this.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say I've got it right now. If you want, you got it.
I got it. Yep,
Okay.
got it. Here's another kill mail. This was sent to us this last week, and it seems that I'm having a loading issue. There it goes.
I love this kill mail.
That one actually makes sense.
What makes sense about it? From your perspective,
Because-
what makes sense?
You just need fast-firing railguns to activate thermal set.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Small railguns is the best. You
Yep.
don't need them to hit. You just need them to activate.
Gotcha. And you're gonna let.
But he
Go ahead.
he couldn't hit a hound with those.
It's not built. They're not there for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is this built for then? Because honestly, I have no idea. I don't own a Nestor. I don't see any reason to have this thing.
I think it's great because it's Stony Sluts dying in a Nestor to a fucking Hound 3. That's the part that I love about it. And that's it.
Well, the thing is, my guess is he couldn't hit the hound because the hound was blinking.
Exactly.
So, but realistically, I don't want to give away too much info because we're currently working on something along these lines.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great how you can learn something throughout a week and you can kind of figure out something new? Like, and this happens every week almost. Like, there's something I figured out this week too that's just mind blowing. But yet, man, you can't really talk about it. You can't really, because you want to be able to use it. And you know you've only got a certain amount of time frame before everybody uses it, i.e. Blink Fleet, right? Like, and how that is now all over the place. You don't even talk about bombers anymore. You just say Blink Fleet, right? So, I mean, it's...
I mean, have you not seen the video that Gengar put up this week of a cruiser fleet killing 2 Chimeras?
No, I haven't watched that one yet.
So they tackle a Chimera on a Citadel grid. Provi undock like 4 or 5 dreads to try and save it, and they can't do squat. And then they undock a second Chimera, and they kill that one too.
What cruisers were they in?
Ashimus, Omen 2.
3 Ashi, 3 Vigi, 1 Oracle, 2 like Ogwar 2, like the heist cruiser armor logi, and 1 Mauler Guardian, and a lot of frigates.
Yeah, I saw a couple
They
of
had
Ashimus
6
as well.
dreadnoughts on them. 6 dreads.
Just
and
couldn't
no
hit
one
'em,
can
huh?
do shit.
Just couldn't hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like,
was. It's impressive.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
That same fleet, I happened to cross hairs, like while I was doing some checking on that fleet. That same fleet was wiped, but by the by our supers. So I found like 15 lost mails of the same fleet with the same composition, but our supers all over these kilometers. They were still strong. Like the camera didn't even scratch the surface of their fleet.
And to be fair, it looked like the dreads that they were trying to fight them off with were capital fit, not high angle fit.
Oh, the barrels. No barrels, yeah. Interesting.
Yet they couldn't do anything. I think the Chimeras killed 2 frigates. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's going to be more of that stuff happening, right? Because none of that is going away. So, rip to those.
Well, I'm looking forward to
right.
watching that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Because seemingly I could never get the time to join the dang stuff. But it is what it is.
I make time, but I always make time for the ones that turn out not to have as much. Everybody comes back
anytime
around
I join,
to the nothing happens exactly.
Nothing happens. Yeah.
Everybody keeps wanting to make armor work. Everybody wants to keep making armor work, and I still just go back to the biggest problem that armor has is that you have to sacrifice too much DPS in your squads because of a guardian in each squad, right? I just keep going back to that.
Not unless you have high implants.
Well, even if you have
Tell that to my my Megathron Striker fleet. It's 15k DPS per Mega Striker.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if it were Apex Strikers, you can have Focus Crystal and still have insane DPS. You can have drones with bombard implants to have insane DPS.
Yeah.
It's
but you
not
still
really
gotta
a
have,
problem
but you still
anymore.
gotta have a guardian in that squad with an armor link, right? You can't just be. I mean, armor doesn't mean that you're just straight all DPS and no guardians. You still gotta have an armor guardian.
Listen, here's the thing. If Nettys did this correctly, the guardian can affect the whole fleet from being in the fleet commander, but that doesn't work. So
Right.
you still have to have a guardian in every fleet. Every squad.
Every squad. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by the loss in DPS or the number of people that have to be guardians as opposed to on the shield side. But
my armor AI core chip has too much DPS.
Bradrick speaks
I see the
facts right
disgust
there.
on Taylor's face. Wait, what?
Bradrick speaks facts right there. Just need competent pilots, and that's clearly where the problem begins. Yes, exactly.
I can feel it from here.
Yeah, people are making it work, Stanley. You're right. People are making it work, and it's fun. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun
fine.
if you got enough tank, you can fight capitals, not supers, but capitals generally. So people can just throw caps at the problem and can throw your armor back at them.
Yeah.
All right. So I pinged Damon. I think Damon had a rant, but
Oh, his son threw up.
yeah, he's having some difficulties attending tonight. So I think we'll have to save that for another day.
Yep.
But with that, I think we've been rambling for long enough. So I think we can call it a show in that sense. So
Yeah.
I'll start the outro, and Taylor can hit us with our sponsored content creators.
Yeah, and we even had a new video up this week from Kawari, who is in that group as well. She put up a great video, Void versus Silent, 30v30. Obviously, we get a lot from Jubileus. He's always putting out these great PvP videos. And, of course, my new favorite, CC Hale. And I only say that, Muffin, because you haven't posted in a while. But Hale always puts out stuff every week, even the Q&As. So that's awesome. He's doing great work with that. He even did one called Sneaky Pew Pew Commentary. So I love it. And, of course, Damon Zell with his Almost News, or Yesterday's News, that comes out every 3 months. That's fantastic to have him as part of our group. I can't help it. I can't help it. And I think that's it. I think I've gone through everybody there. Who did I forget? Besides Mario, obviously, Moby. Mario Bot, I had the ad for him. So, but
I quit my job for this.
Yeah, that's all of our guys. That's all of our guys who are sponsored content on there. Oh, of course, Lotarra Tacit, our Empress Huntress.
Ember Huntress, yeah. Can't forget me. I haven't posted for a little bit either.
I don't forget you, though.
Content when?
It's because I'm scrolling through the list of everybody, and you were like one of the first ones in, so therefore you're at the end of the list because the list is backwards. That's why I always say you last.
Roasted.
You know, I want to comment on Hale's video, the recent PvP one that he did, and he did some Cobalt Edge content on there. And literally, he did commentary from start to finish.
He did. It was excellent.
I was actually so happy to watch that because, one, I wasn't there. Two, he was actually talking about what they did, and it was for an outpost, right?
Yep.
And then there was a fight, which he says was a pretty fun fight. You know, he was doing all this stuff. He was explaining as to what he was doing. So
I loved it because I watched. Yeah,
Thanks
exactly.
for listening
Exactly.
to that.
I loved it because I was able to watch what he was doing with his bomber, and so now I can critique him how to do that a little bit better next time.
Right. So yeah, sure. And I'm sure, you know, looking back at the footage, he's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that or whatever. But even then, I noticed in Kawari's latest video too, she laid out, you know, what was all going on at the beginning of the video, because a lot of the PvP videos you get, it's like, oh, I'm here. Pew pew, shoot shoot, kill mail, lost mail, kill mail, fleet warp, all this, and then it's like a swipe, and then it's a month, or not a month, but then it's a fight that happened 3 weeks later, and it's like, why is this in the same video? Anyway, but you know, thank you to those content creators that are actually putting in effort in their content. I enjoy watching that type of stuff. So
that's great.
Please continue. Please continue.
I strive to have the most mid-tier content available.
Then I may have to demote you then, if that's the case. So,
I mean, I don't know. I'm right there with you. I mean, I haven't done any content outside of the show, and maybe the trivia show, and now our racing thing. So wait a minute. I am actually doing a lot of content.
Yeah. So with that being said, we shall call it a show. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Lotarra. Thank you, Z, for coming on the show tonight. And thanks, everybody, for attending us live. And I guess fly safe out there. We'll see you this week. We got events coming up. And 07 out there.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Thanks.
See ya.
Oh,